Hey, KO number 90 is finally here. That little surprise woke you up, didn't it? Here's another one you do need to be awake for. Oh yeah, running that stop sign, seeing that somebody's approaching, and then stopping in the middle of the road right before them. This is so bad it could almost become its own meme. Oh, look at those awful and dangerous distances! Well, Fiat driver is like, hold my beer. Being on the Autobahn, what do you not expect to find here? A goddamn scooter just chilling there! But weird people causing weird things to happen. Right here we are leaving the freeway and this cyclist is coming from the freeway too. Moments later, the person stops because it looks like they are completely lost.
Sind Sie lebensmüde?
Das ist Autobahn.
Das ist eine Autobahn.
Tired of life, eh? Sure, you die faster on the bike, but it does also count for lost car drivers. At least this one did recognize the mistake before getting on the actual runway of the Autobahn, but still you are wondering, how did the driver make it so far without reacting to the obvious signals? Has been coming across those no entry signs and also going over at least one arrow pointing entirely the other way. We all have been distracted at some point, but if that is the result of distraction, this driver will end up in a bad crash at some point when it leads to showing such dangerous mistakes. Enough of the freeway, back into town and approaching a roundabout with a light turning green for us now. Gladly, bus drivers running a red light this ignorant are a rarity. But there are plenty of species not giving much of a crap about a red light. A white car? How could you expect anybody to see that? That other driver did even look at us, maybe a case of severe inability to judge distances and speeds. And the following bus driver seemingly also suffers critical inabilities. How big of a fail is acceptable to you, bus driver? Yes? Some actions are just like WTF. Already without the cyclist, this would have been ridiculous because of a lack of space to the bus. But with him is just... what on earth are we watching? But it's a common trait of people to always be in a hurry. Straight line and passing restrictions don't matter. So people often end up driving faster than allowed without keeping their actual speed in mind. So what does that mean concerning speed traps? Let's look at it. We are driving a speed of 120 kph, but who knows for how long? Thing is, when there are many cars in a line, this usually ends up in an accordion effect. First guy brakes, second one brakes more, following one brakes even more, and so on. The effect keeps adding up until possibly a jam develops, without an actual traffic blockage. So when we are arriving at the speed trap, we are left with 42 kph on the freeway. The first driver who started all this, he doesn't need to care, because he's gone and he won't give a crap about what happens to those 30 cars behind him. But guess what makes this even dumber? The displays right at the speed trap don't show any speed limit. Braking at this trap is completely pointless. But that perfectly fits the oblivious driving style of so many people, because they don't pay attention to signs or their speed, and their monkey brain just goes, speed trap, must go slow. Here we are about to witness a suicidal cyclist on the left side. And that was a tough situation for the bus driver, trying not to hit the cyclist and us. But there you see where those reports of crashes with cyclists are originating from. But you know how it goes. Everything gets ridiculously expensive and people can't afford common sense. Why is this guy passing the other one over the entering lane when there are two perfectly good and legal lanes for passing to his left? Get the pills, will ya? A little night drive at 215 kph. Why did this guy move to the left lane? We will never know because he doesn't have his pills with him.
Christian, die Musik ist so laut, ich sehe gar nichts.
I'm sorry, what? The music is so loud I can't see anything. Now that is why my aunt is turning off the radio when parking. Anyway, could she be right? Because let's rewind and start the clip from the beginning.
Christian, die Musik ist so laut, ich sehe gar nichts. Langsam. Nein. Alter! Was war das? Da lag eine Mülltonne. Alter. Tschüss. Da lag einfach eine Mülltonne.
Well, wet and reflecting roads at night are the worst. You can't see stuff well, which is why you need to be very attentive. But it's always easy to judge afterwards. It can happen to anyone. Like it did to our man Leon. He has been to France recently. On this road is a speed limit of 80 kph and he's looking for his junction. He recognizes a very evil pothole in the middle of the road and is like, I am not running through this mofo. And BAM! Running through an even worse kind of pothole. That vacation really paid off. Only because of this, he needed new tires, a new rim, and repairs to the running gear. You gotta love when something like this happens.
Wo läuft Herrsche, ne? Klasse, interessiert dich nicht dafür, oder was ist da los?
Doesn't look to me like this is a situation of not caring. Look at it, the dog even carries a long leash. Nobody wasting a thought about if the owner is actually alright? Maybe he's laying somewhere on the grass a half mile away. Nobody of those million drivers passing by did stop for this, just gawking at the bizarre sight and otherwise not caring. Because maybe the owner does need serious help. And even if that is not the case, somebody should have the balls to step in and do something about this dog endangering traffic. With this long leash, there's a good chance to somehow secure it. But people like to go around with the mentality of not my problem, just getting away ASAP. For some people, even the most basic logic seems to be too tough to process. This logic would be, it's dark, I need lights. I wonder if this is the same guy that I recently saw. I was standing on a bridge in pure darkness and some nutcase was flying by at 200 kph without having his lights on. Facepalm, please. Is it a matter of lacking attention? It's certainly such a matter in this case. Some guy missing his red light.
Hä?
And now there he is, facing loads of crossing people because he's not supposed to be there. Okay. What might this guy be thinking? Oh no, there are moving vehicles. I need to get off of those hellish roads. Oh well, such things happen way too often. I wonder if paying attention like you're supposed to would prevent this. In any case, if you're a witness of such an accident, you better stay there if you can. Provide your info and your dashcam footage. Because the rear driver may not have a dashcam and couldn't prove that he wasn't the one rear-ending the other driver. Sometimes the accident driver then states that he did not drive backwards. A very, very important reason why everybody should have a dashcam.
Super.
Well, you could argue that the cyclist had a red light for a second and was supposed to stop anyway, but I have a suspicion the driver didn't even recognize that and simply failed at checking mirrors and shoulder. Many accidents with cyclists happen this way. Oh good lord, what the hell is that? Oncoming traffic? If drivers have taught us anything, then that doesn't matter.
What the f... That's bescheuert oder was?
Oh look, our man wants to show us how he's passing the cyclist too closely. Nah, I doubt that this was what he wanted to show us. I guess it's rather about the two-wheeler, how he's failing at standing at the light. And then failing at crossing the red light. And then fails to properly get back moving. Anyway, concerning passing cyclists too closely, some people seem to have made a profession out of that. And while Christian usually stays pretty calm in those crazy situations, when he gets the chance, he politely asks for the intentions of drivers.
Wie viel Seitenabstand muss man einhalten, wenn man einen Radfahrer überholt? 1,5 Meter.
Driver says, "That's what I did? How delusional can you be while pushing around a 2-ton bullet? Maybe those were 1.5 inches, and you need to remember that there is still quite some of the steering bar next to our camera view here." This was a very close call, and drivers honestly thinking that such driving is fine and safe doesn't leave any questions why there are still loads of fatal accidents out there. Anyway, I am trying my best to be maximum attentive out there, and I hope you are doing the same. It's bad enough seeing so many situations in such videos where barely misses the fan. Nobody wants to be responsible for something like this actually ending up in some crash. At least, I hope so. In any case, that's it for this episode. If you haven't seen all of our content so far, either check this other episode you see to the left, or pick one from this ever more filling up playlist you see to the right. Keep it rolling, and see you next week.